Well, it is 8:45 on Tuesday morning. Now, we all know that the food that we eat has a major impact on our health, but is it also the answer to chronic illness and cancer? Two Australian nutritionists who believe it is have made a film about food's potential to fight and prevent against illness. James Calhoun and Laurentine ten Bush join us this morning. Guys, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dom.
I've got to say, in researching for this interview, I really think you guys have made an incredible film here, and also quite controversial. I mean, we grow up in a society where we get sick. We're taught to go to the doctors, take a pill and get better. But what this film does is really challenge that belief.
Absolutely. What we're looking at here is, I think a lot of people are aware of the fact that, eating good food is really important for health, and a lot of people know that it's good for preventing a lot of illnesses. But what we've pointed out and the teachers in Food Matters go to show is that a lot of people aren't aware that, you can use nutrition to even reverse chronic degenerative illness. And that's the big draw card that our film presents. And if you're suffering from any sort of illness, or if you're looking for a second alternative, then the film really offers some great scientifically verifiable advice for people.
Another interesting fact, and also somewhat controversial, was that good health makes good sense, but it doesn't necessarily make good dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to us a bit about that.
The economics of the industry is something that we need to look at when we're looking at this, because, something we were talking about just before is that you can't patent an apple, but you can patent something that's been, chemically derived and manufactured. But that doesn't mean that the apple doesn't have as good an impact on your health as, say, a pill does, for example. So the economics of the industry is something we need to look at, and something that goes to show that it might not be as readily available as other forms of healing.
Surely the hardest thing, though, that you would come across is changing people's beliefs on what to do. How do you do that?
Well, you need to look at really providing people with solid information, and Laurentine and I believe that, if people have access
to the right information, that we are able to make the right decisions for our health. And it starts from a family perspective as well. If you help your kids to understand more about, getting into nature, digging, and, looking at where foods really come from, you're really starting to understand about what those foods do to your body as well.
The frustrating thing is, though, that it can be quite confusing, because obviously, we think apples, vegetables, you go to the supermarket, they're fresh, nutritious foods, but sometimes it's not the case. Pesticides and things that get into the food, we're talking organic, nutritious food, aren't we?
Absolutely. A lot of people aren't aware that even your standard vegetables on the supermarket shelves are not really that great for you anymore, because of the advent of commercial agriculture. It's big business. You've got to make lots of food to feed a lot of people. And I think people are coming to demand quality food now. And as we understand more about the levels of toxicity in these foods and how that has an impact on the immune system.
And how often they've spent a lot of time on the shelves as well. Are they really fresh?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking at all those factors, and, there's a lot of clinically qualified medical doctors, physicians, surgeons, all coming together and saying we need to wake up and really take this information on board if we've got a chronic illness.
So what we're basically telling everyone at home is organic food and local food.
Yeah, local is really important. I think New Zealand has a really great international reputation as being a very green and eco sort of based community, and I think that's really great. And to continue on with that, we need to look at how we can create a really great sustainable economy around good, natural, whole, organic food that supports not only our health, but the sustainability of our planet, and, many other long-term effects.
And just quickly, we hear a lot about superfoods, foods that are just fantastic for our bodies. Can you give us a few examples of some superfoods we should look out for?
Well, some of the superfoods that are brought up in the film, superfoods are foods which are nutrient-dense and calorie sparse. So for every
raw cacao, goji berries, acai, echinacea, raw honey.
So these sorts of foods have a lot of nutrients in them, and very little calories. So
another thing you're saying is you don't want to cook. You want to keep it raw.
Absolutely. Yeah. Once you cook food, a lot of people don't realise that it replenishes all the enzymes in the food, and the enzymes are
also a lot of nutrients.
Yeah, absolutely. And the enzymes really diminish the body's capability to take the nutrients out of the food. So it's really important to have those enzymes in there.
But using this method, though, to cure illness, for example, such as cancer, is that something that you would recommend?
I think it's up to people to have a look at this information and decide for themselves. What we're presenting here is that these healing technologies, these ancient healing technologies, have been in place for a long period of time, and they've been working for a long period of time, and there's a lot of research suggesting that they are working for a long period of time. So we've gone and collected the world's leading authorities, nutritionists, medical doctors, surgeons, etc., showing that this information works. because you're not going to get access to this
And a
generally.
lot of the teachers in the film that we've interviewed are curing the incurables, like people that have been diagnosed, terminally ill patients, and they're using nutritional therapy, and the results are proven. You know, there needs to be more research done in this area.
Well, guys, I tell you what, we could sit here and talk about it all day long. I think it is so interesting and really fantastic. Of course, everyone at home wants to know how they can get a hold of this information. The website is foodmatters.tv.
That's right,
foodmatters.tv. If you live in Auckland or Wellington tonight, the film is playing at the Rialto in Auckland, and tomorrow night at the Paramount in Wellington.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck, and if you are in those centres, make sure you get along to the screening, guys. Thanks a lot.
Amazing.
Dom, thanks
Thank
a lot.
you very
Great being
much.
here.